Shoulder to shoulder, all for one. We keep holding each other, one for all. And no gender or faith, we are one. Everybody will get peace of mind. Shoulder to shoulder, all for one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kaduna Intrafaith Youth Debate. My name is Benson Ogbe and I'm your host for tonight's edition. It promises to be educative, informative, and entertaining. I have two teams that are doing battle today. I have the proposing team. I have the Ruby team. And I have the team that are opposing, the Beryl team. Give it up for them. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I have my wonderful judges. Give it up for the judges. The topic for tonight's debate: Nigeria does not need fuel subsidy regime. Ladies and gentlemen, let the battle begin.
Subsidy is an assistance paid to a business, economic sectors, or producers. Government uses subsidy as a subvention to the claim of an industry to help reduce the cost of product, in order to help the citizenry, more especially the less privileged. Hike in the cost of living. Due to the means of fuel subsidy removal, goods and services have doubled in their prices, thereby weakening the high purchasing power of the Nigerian people. Panel of judges, I create timekeeper, my co-debaters, my co-speaker, ladies and gentlemen. Increase in crime due to the hardship caused by the fuel subsidy removal. Young people are sent into the life of crime. Young graduates find comfort in armed robbery and terrorism. Increase in hunger due to the hardship caused by the fuel subsidy removal. Most families find it very difficult today to feed twice. Rise in security, subordination of our economy to the Western ideology, thereby making our economy a dependent economy. Unemployment, due to the hardship caused by the fuel subsidy removal. Some companies find it very difficult due to the artificial scarcity of the fuel to keep to their workers. Thereby they are forced to retrench their workers in order to keep the company moving. Ladies and gentlemen, where are we heading to? We don't need fuel subsidy. I think it's better we have to learn more to go into fuel subsidy system. Rise in security, hunger, hate. Ladies and gentlemen, I rest my word. Thank you.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of impartial judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, my co-speakers, ladies and gentlemen. I am standing here to clinically orchestrate my opposition against the motion which states that Nigeria does not need fuel subsidy. To start with, as it relates to the topic, the 6th edition of the Oxford Dictionary defines subsidy. That's page 1195 of the Oxford Dictionary. Defines subsidy as the money that is being paid by the government or an organization to reduce the cost of service of producing goods so that their money can be kept low. Contrary to public opinion, the removal of fuel subsidy promises great improvement on the economy. Furthermore, it will save additional resources for programs targeted at alleviating poverty, that is the total eradication of poverty. Early this year, January, when we experienced some crisis due to the protest against the said subsidy removal, there was some corrupt practices by some unscrupulous people who went to the federal government collecting money for tankers of water which they supplied, giving the impression that they supplied tankers of oil. My opponent, do not be quick to say that the masses will suffer, because at present it is the rich ones that are enjoying the fuel subsidy. For us to avoid all this, for us to enjoy the fuel subsidy removal, is for us to agree that yes, because it is for the betterment of the future, it's for us to enjoy in the future. If we keep protesting against it, I am telling you now that we will never live well. We have most countries today that are enjoying the fuel subsidy because they agree, they came together, they are patriotic, they are disciplined. So they agreed to practice and have that fuel subsidy regime. If you think that maybe inflation, it will be a proportionate one, because already job would have been provided to meet those demands. So I urge every one of us here to agree that yes, with the help, that's with the coming together of we to agree that we need this fuel subsidy regime, we will live to enjoy in future and we'll see the benefit of it. It is for our own good, not for our own bad. And furthermore, it is said that first of all, I see anyone who oppose subsidy as haters of development of Nigeria. As you all know, change is a constant thing, and anyone who opposes change is only acting out cowardice and consolidating pessimism. Before I round off, I would like to say this. On the 3rd of January, in the Vanguard newspaper, a comment was made by...
I beg to stand on existing protocol. From your definition of subsidy, you mentioned to keep the prices low. That means, distinguished ladies and gentlemen and my audience, that subsidy is meant to be targeted at the poor people. But I ask you a question. What set of people have the highest fleet of cars? The rich. They consume more fuel. Who are the owners of industries that consume more fuel? The rich. Who owns all the buses that the poor used to transport themselves? The rich. Therefore, subsidy is actually not targeting at the poor, but is fueling the rich and making them get more richer. Secondly, you said that giving subsidy will help to improve our local economy. How do you expect subsidy to improve our local economy? When for every kobo of naira you take outside this country, you have taken away our chances to build unemployment, to build industries that is going to give us employment, and you're giving more employment to the countries outside. So I ask you again, how are you improving our economy? She talked about corruption. According to Sahara Reporters Online, it says the government of Nigeria spends 667 billion naira in importing fuel that is never consumed by Nigerians. Rather, the rich and the marketers are enriching themselves, are becoming more richer with the money that is used to subsidize for the supposedly poor. According to an executive secretary of the Petroleum Price Regulation Agency, he said that instead of the 35 million liters of petroleum that we need as a country to consume, the country imports 59 million. The remaining balance goes to other countries with the same money that is supposed to use to be targeted at the poor. We do not need a fuel subsidy regime in Nigeria on this platform of corruption. Again, according to Mike Ononolomen, the Honorable Minister of Transportation, he said that Nigeria needs the sum of 1.2 trillion naira to fix our road for the next 3 years, which is close to the 1.3 trillion naira that was spent in 2011 to import fuel into this country. Now, what happens to our roads? What happens to effective healthcare delivery? What happens to education when we spend all the money to subsidize fuel?
Good day, panel of judges, co-debaters, the audience, and the organizers and everybody. I'm Sadiq Umar. I represent Beryl team. Even though I might want to agree with the last speaker, but I disagree to agree with him. This is the reason why. Well, I'm opposing on the motion which says Nigeria does not need subsidy removal, which means, keeping it simple, Nigeria needs subsidy regime. This is why I say so. This is a country that we have one of the highest oil reserves and all that, but we take our oil, crude oil outside for refining. Why? When we have at least 4 refineries, why not put these refineries into working condition? So if the government now can say, all right, the government can be funny enough to take our money outside, our oil outside, bring it in and buy it at high prices, that is selling the crude oil low, buying the final product at high prices, then why? Then the government should be so funny enough, since it's funny enough to lose that huge amount of money, then it should keep losing the money. Then it should keep subsidizing the fuel for us. Because I don't see any reason why we should have the highest oil reserve, one of the highest oil reserve in the world. Every day oil is being found, even if not there's potential reserve of oil, and we go outside to refine the oil, our crude oil, and we have tons of products from byproducts from crude oil. We have is it methane, we have paraffin and all that, but only crude oil comes to us. Petroleum comes to us. We buy at exorbitant prices. The final product bitumen, which is the last thing of all, we still buy. Why? When our refineries can do it for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know that we are under an era of what we call neo-colonialism, where the whites are dominant. So now we are under the influence of the World Trade Organization, WTO, IMF, International Monetary Fund, under the platform of Structural Adjustment Program. So under this platform of Structural Adjustment Program, these bodies, multinational corporations,
beg to stand an existing protocol. My opponent called me haters. She called our team haters of development. But I want to assure you that the team that is interested in generating more employment in this country, a team that is interested in eradicating corruption through removal of subsidy, a team that is interested in ensuring other aspects of our country like roads and healthcare does not suffer, shouldn't be called haters of development. Rather, we should be crowned the title of lovers of development. My dear audience, I'm not supporting the removal of subsidy because we have money or because we are just arrogantly being insensitive. We understand what we all go through. We are all humans like you. We take the same bike, we pay extra fees and extra charges for goods and services. But I need you to understand that the removal of subsidy is a change. And change is a process, like the gestation of a baby. Everything about your life went through a process. Likewise, I believe before we're done on the reality, with time we're going to get used to it and everything is going to be fine.
I totally disagree with you. We seriously need the fuel subsidy regime for us to enjoy in future, just like what I've earlier said. Yeah, you came up and said that a corrupt country like Nigeria cannot practice fuel subsidy regime. I'd like to tell you, even if we are the best, one of the best oil producing country, we have many countries that are ahead of us. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Dubai, and many countries like that. But they were once corrupt, and today where are they? They are enjoying, they are ahead of us. We Nigerians, for us to reach that level, we just have to accept the fact that yes, we need the fuel subsidy regime for us to enjoy in future. Those people that brought up the issue, they know the better, they know the best, they know what we will enjoy. That was why they brought up that issue of fuel subsidy removal. So I would like you to agree with me. I did not say anybody. What I said earlier is that anybody who does not support the subsidy regime, fuel subsidy regime, is haters of change of the development of this country.
This has been an explosive debate. You will agree with me. But somebody in this room, one of the team members, must be the winner. Ladies and gentlemen, as I ask my audience to cast their votes, let me take the judge's comment.
Okay, so far so good. It has been an interesting intellectual exchange of words between the two groups involved. I must say congratulations to all of you. However, there are certain observations. I was interested in the fact that Ruby had a little salient introduction during the beginning of the debate, but they ended on very strong terms in their argument. And then moving forward, you teams might want to consider having a very strong backing to give credibility to your arguments.
Okay, excellent presentation, the passions and everything, but I have a challenge. One, the Ruby team, there is a disconnect between the first speaker and the second speaker. And secondly, the Minister of Transport, you mentioned Mike, is Minister of Works, not Minister of Transport. And thirdly, I think when you said we does need a fuel subsidy regime, you didn't give us reason and countries that have removed it and how far they have gone. And also the same that you said we need it, you didn't give us statistics and countries that have removed or withhold fuel subsidy and it has been good for them. I think those are very important issues. You need practical examples, not just the passion, but practical examples of countries that have used it and it has worked for them.
The result of this battle is out. The winner of this fierce battle is, the winner is the Beryl team. Give it up for the Beryl team. Congratulations. Congratulations. Wow. Welcome back to the second segment of tonight's episode. The first segment was actually exposing and educative. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have two new teams that are going to do battle. Viewers at home, welcome the proposing team, the Emerald team. And give it up for the opposing team, the Maker team. The Kaduna Intrafaith debate is sponsored by the British High Commission, is an initiative of Young Stars Foundation, and the star prize for this competition is 250,000 naira. Ladies and gentlemen, the topic for this debate is skill acquisition is more important than steady electricity in Nigeria today. Ladies and gentlemen, the stage is set. Let the battle begin.
All protocols duly observed. I see before we get caught up in the crossfire of opinions on as to what Nigeria truly needs today, we first of all need to understand where she stands. Resolve. Skill acquisition is more important than steady electricity supply in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, steady electricity is undoubtedly very important, and it's what some of us want. But then again, when we talk of importance, now in relevance to Nigeria, we don't consider wants, we consider needs. Nigeria needs skill acquisition. And so what is skill acquisition? According to the Webster's Thesaurus Encyclopedia, skill acquisition is the development of a facility or proficiency obtained through training or experience. And ladies and gentlemen, today we are contesting against electricity or steady electricity supply in Nigeria. But I feel you cannot compare both. Skill acquisition is fundamental and very important to us. With a gaining population of 167 million people. Now the major question is, even if the federal government decides to reward every graduated employment, how many of us can it satisfy at the same time? Nigerians need to be entrepreneurial to themselves. Therefore, easing first of all the unrealistic expectations on the federal government, as well as the burden and the responsibility. And today we are talking about electricity. When we have a lot of electricity around us, but incompetent Nigerians. My opponent most likely would come up and telling us the importance of electricity and how electricity can benefit our nation. We can't dispute that fact. But when we talk of relevance, when we talk of comparison, how many nations around the world have survived without electricity? It is fundamental. It is fundamentally important, but we can do without it. For every substitute, for everything electricity can do, I want you to think about a substitute. Because with my clothes, I can iron my clothes with a box iron, and it would be as straight as an electric iron would do. I could cook very good food on gas stove just as much as electricity would do. So when we want to talk of electricity being important to Nigeria, you want to think about the fact that is electricity indispensable? Yes, electricity is indispensable to Nigerians compared to skill acquisition. Nigerians cannot do with skill acquisition. Thank you.
Hello, good day ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon all. I'm here to speak against skills acquisition. And steady electricity supply is better than skills acquisition. Why I say that, without steady electricity supply, our industries cannot be functioned. And with steady electricity supply, you find out many people will fall into our country that have steady electricity supply for business. And the many people living in that country will benefit on that industry that fall into the country for a business. Why I say that, you find out our industries, textiles, without steady electricity supply, it's not been function again. And many people are working there. And they have their own handwork. And without steady electricity supply, you find out the economic of that country cannot be exist. But when we have steady electricity supply, you find out the economy of that country will be rising up. Understand? And the second point is that with steady electricity supply, you find out many people will benefit on that steady electricity supply, because we have our own hand workers, for example, our welders, carpenters, mechanics, all we use electricity. Without steady electricity supply, that cannot be work. Thank you.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to support the motive that said skill acquisition is more important than steady electricity in Nigeria. Skill acquisition is more important. I said so because without skill acquisition, there is 24 hours electricity supply. Without the knowledge of how to make use of them, there's no way we are going to use it. With skills, we can make use of the electricity. For example, now, there is 24 hours electricity supply. There are things that we are supposed to make use of electricity, but there is no knowledge in such a way that we should make use of it. But with our skills, we can make use of the electricity. Without the knowledge, there are many operations that we cannot do, even if there is electricity supply. Thank you.
All protocols duly observed. I'm here to speak against the topic which says steady electricity is more important than skill acquisition. Today, with the help of internet, the world has become a global village. Even information can get them through the internet, and it is because of steady electricity and not skill acquisition. Today, industries use their services. Their services are very effective. It is as a result of steady electricity, and it is not skill acquisition. In terms of skill acquisitions, you apply education before you get all those things needed by you. So, example, if you have welding, mechanics, you use electricity to use in order to make those metals packed together. Without electricity, you cannot make them. Steady electricity also has also helped in reducing human energy and labor, and also giving chance for survival. Example, if a man falls from a 100-story building and is in a critical condition, who needs the attention of a doctor? The first thing the doctor seeks is electricity in order to move the operation effectively. And let's look at the aspect. In the aspect of science and technology, their services also are effective by using their services are effective. They use computerized robots to achieve their aims. Like the developed countries, they use robots to make their objectives effective. Without those things, they cannot make them very well. And it is as a result of steady electricity and not skill acquisition. Another example is given. Electricity is in this room. Without it, you see darkness here. We don't use electricity. So it's because of electricity we use all these things.
Nigeria can do without skill acquisition. Nunca. Muchas gracias, buenas noches. It means never, but thank you very much and good night. Ladies and gentlemen, my opponent finds it very convenient and appropriate to set aside skill acquisition as an importance to Nigerians and to Nigeria itself, without putting into cognizance that Nigeria is not just about those of us who can move by ourselves. What about those special Nigerians? What about the physically challenged Nigerians? What about the visually impaired Nigerians? What about the 40-year-old, the 50-year-old who have been through our penitentiaries, correctional facilities, and prisons, even rehabilitation centers, out, ready to be effective and relevant again to our society?
Ladies and gentlemen, how can the government employ skills acquisition without steady electricity supply? First. Secondly, our parents, some of them they are ice block sellers, and there is electricity. And ice block is not skills acquisition. How can we clear the poverty alleviation without steady electricity supply? We use steady electricity supply for many things. For example, our industries will be functioning. Secondly, many people will fall into the country that have steady electricity supply for business. And the people living in that geographical area will benefit with that people that fall into the country for the business. That's it.
That was some fierce battle. These young people have proved the point today that actually Nigeria can cohabit in peace. Ladies and gentlemen, as I ask my audience to cast their votes as to who the better side is, I will take the judges' comment. Judges, let's have your comments.
Good work you guys have done. But quick one, if any of the two teams truly want to, progress in this debate program, you need to introduce more energy. You need to bring, more energy, convincing energy, to your delivery. That I've not seen. The first speaker in Emirate team, even though you later corrected yourself, you said Nigeria need skill acquisition. It's Nigerians, not Nigeria. And for the first speaker from Micah team, honestly, you truly need to do more in terms of stage appearance. This is not a rapping program. This is a serious intellectual battle. So you need to show more, to be more professional.
That was a very good presentation. And I think my colleague has said it all. First group, you guys need to work more to get more facts, then present more instances to buttress your facts. Then the second speaker, stage appearance matters a lot. You have to compose yourself more and be able to carry your audience. That's it. Then the second group, which is the Micah group. The first speaker, my colleague has said it to you too, you have to put in more energy. This is a debate. You're presenting your points. You understand? You have to put in more energy to be able to carry your audience too.
Wow, the result is out as compiled by the judges. And I have the singular privilege to be the one to announce who the leading team is. Like I always say, the star prize remained 250,000 naira. And the initiative, this program is initiated by Young Stars Foundation and sponsored by the British High Commission. The winner for this segment is, we'll be right back after a short break. The winner is the Emerald team! Congratulations, Emerald. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of tonight's episode. We want to appreciate our judges for a job well done. Give it up for the judges. And the audience, thank you for coming. Viewers at home, see you next week.
Shoulder to shoulder, all for one. We keep holding each other. One for all, and no gender or faith. We are one. Everybody.